Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am still sorting through slides. I'm hoping book videos up because I'm alternating between slides and books. Funny, not funny story. Apparently, like, my weird quirkiness and my ability to multitask and take care of things is because I had undiagnosed ADHD. So yeah, just got that diagnosis at the doctor recently. Kind of threw me off. But we discussed it. We discussed how female symptoms tend to be different, how I am constantly multitasking. He called it marathoning, where I'm go, go, go. I'm always, like I've talked about here on the channel, I will leave at 6:30 in the morning and I'll get home at 9 o'clock at night. And that's not even being in one place. I'm all over the place. So we were joking about that. We're not doing anything about it. We're monitoring the whole you've made it to 42 in a semi-successful life. We're just kind of gonna see what happens, and if like obsessive thoughts or anything get too bad, then we will look into treating it. But as of right now, it's, hey, I have a new superpower. But that kind of threw me off, and I'm sure you guys have all the experiences with doctors, and it's kind of, they're like, oh, you have this, and it's like, wait, what? To be fair, I constantly underplay any symptoms I have and think what I'm going through is normal. And when I have doctors go, no, that's not normal, I'm kind of almost surprised by it. The last time was, and then you guys have heard my videos from back then, I sounded awful. Why did nobody tell me I sounded awful? I got pneumonia from the norovirus. So I had norovirus, thought I wanted to die, aspirated my own vomit, and got bacterial pneumonia and had to be on antibiotics. And it took 6 weeks to feel any different. And I was still in shortness of breath after that. And I went to the doctor to get a physical. I didn't even go to the doctor because I felt like trash. I went to the doctor because I needed a physical for scouting. And the doctor's like, you have pneumonia. Like, pretty severe pneumonia. Here's your antibiotics and we will see you in a week. So that's me being stupid. I about said a bad word. I am like that with my own health. I'm not like that with my children's health or my husband's health. If anything happens to them, I'm like, okay, time to go to the doctor. We should get that scene about that. I'm constantly monitoring and writing down their symptoms when they're sick versus myself when apparently I had pneumonia for several weeks and didn't realize it. I was just kept on trucking. And I think a lot of us can relate to that too. I just need to keep going. I do miss the COVID protocols for sick days, and I'm kind of sad they're gone now. Even if you didn't have COVID, if you had, like, I had norovirus, I had pneumonia, I was still at work every day with pneumonia. And a grand majority of my job is talking. So that was very interesting. But back in the COVID days, they would have been like, you sneezed, you get to stay home for 10 days. I miss that. Why can't we still have that? I feel like I was more productive and less sick during that time because sick people stayed home or wore masks. And when we were sick, we had the luxury of being sick. And that sounds like so crazy. Like, only in America, we have the luxury of being sick. We can stay home and feel better. When our kids are sick, we can stay home with our kids. It just blows my mind that we have to go to work sick or we lose our jobs. Because I'm a contract employee, I do not get sick days. If I do not show up to work, I am docked for my paycheck every time I'm sick. And it's difficult to justify that, especially if you're sick multiple times in a row. I think I've said in past videos on this, when I had my last baby, I was told that if I took any time off, because I am a contract employee, if I took any time off, I would lose my place and have to lose seniority and start at the bottom again when I came back. So I had my youngest on a Wednesday and I was back at work on a Monday, and I was docked those 3 days from my paycheck. The I don't know if it would still be the same now. There was a whole complete turnover of management at that place. I'm not there anymore to deal with it. But yeah, I don't know how looking back at it, I don't know how I did it. Well, I do know how I did it. I got a hernia and an infection because of it. But I don't know how I was going multiple places to go to work and had a newborn. And I was breastfeeding, and she exclusively was breastfed. And we did prolonged breastfeeding and all of that. And it's like, how did I manage that? And then I have conversations with my body now, and my body said, this is how you managed it, and now you're paying for it. I don't know if you guys know spoon theory. So spoon theory, very simply put, is we have allotted so many spoons per day. And each activity we do takes a spoon. Every activity we do takes a spoon. Going to the bathroom takes a spoon. Taking a shower takes a spoon. Brushing our teeth takes a spoon. Eating takes a spoon. Takes more spoons if we're making or cleaning or working. And some of us have more spoons than others. And some days we have more spoons than we do other days, depending on how we feel with like chronic illnesses and stuff. I was essentially taking a loan out on my spoons. My 20s and 30s were me taking a really high interest mortgage on my spoons. And now that I'm in my 40s, I know the joke, like, as soon as you hit 40, everything falls apart. No, like, seriously, as soon as I hit 40, everything falls apart. I was having such bad symptoms that I actually, this again is surprising, I actually found a doctor that said, hey, this is what's wrong with you. I was able to get the tests I needed done. I was able to get genetically tested. And they're like, yeah, you've had this in your entire life. And everything else that we said was just anxiety or depression or rheumatoid arthritis or whatever. Yeah, we lied. It's been this entire time. It's both overwhelming. Oh, it's overwhelming. I remember the first time I went to physical therapy, I cried in the parking lot afterwards because I actually felt validated for what was going on. I got the diagnosis. Here's the problem. Not a lot of people know how to treat it. Right now, I am experimenting with treatments with a doctor, and the side effects are kicking my ass. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay on this. I'm getting that you need to try it for 2 weeks before the side effects to go down, and then you can hopefully get the benefits from it. But I may not see the benefits for 6 weeks. But it's the route I want to go treatment-wise. There are other more conventional treatments for it, but I'm afraid of those treatments. So I don't want to do those. And if I can just get a little bit of relief, then I'm more likely to function. So we'll see. I just started it and I spent the whole night puking. So that's fun. And then you're like, you spent the whole night puking. Why are you recording a video? Because I'm an idiot. 100% idiot. And I feel like a lot of us, I would say particularly females, but I think males have this too. If we aren't being productive, we don't feel like we're presenting our worth. And I've always thought that. Like, if I was relaxing, I couldn't relax. I had to do something else. If I'm sitting in pickup line, I can't just sit in pickup line. I can't just play on my phone. I can't just do that. I have to do something else. I have to keep myself busy while in pickup line. I'll cross stitch while in pickup line, or I'll work on work stuff while in pickup line. I'll do all of that. And when I was telling the doctor this, he's looking at me like, no shit, you have ADHD. But I need to constantly be busy. I need to constantly multitask. I need to prove my worth. I don't know if it's like childhood trauma. I don't know if it's being female. I don't know if it's society just being shitheads. I really don't know. But I feel if I'm not able to prove it, it doesn't exist. If there isn't a picture, it didn't happen, Yeah. And I feel like a lot of us feel that way, especially now with society being go, 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 go. Like, if you don't have a side hustle, are you really being productive? How dare you sit down and read? How dare you do anything for yourself? I felt guilty when I took showers. I still feel guilty. Even though that's a basic human thing. We have to be clean. Everybody around us wants us clean. Nobody wants us to skip the showers. But I'm like, I'm taking 20 minutes to myself. I used to time my showers and see how quick I could take them because I felt guilty for taking them. Because I could have been doing something else. And yeah, it's overwhelming. So that's my life. And to top it off, this is my 4th primary care physician in 2 years because all of them keep leaving, and my insurance sent me a note accusing me of doctor hopping. And I'm like, I'm not doctor hopping. They keep leaving. And it's not even like they're dumping me as a patient. They are leaving the area. So I have to get a new doctor. And I've been through 4 in 2 years. And it's absolutely ridiculous, especially when you have a chronic genetic disorder that needs continuity of care, because every single person I have to go and talk to and spend over an hour reintroducing myself, trying not to look like I'm med-seeking, having them actually take me seriously with my symptoms. One of the doctors I saw told me that I must not be in pain because of everything I do. And I told her I didn't know I had a choice. Yeah. I have high hopes for this doctor. We'll see. I hope this medication works. I did not like staying up all night puking. They told me to ride it out for a week. That is no fun. Puking for an entire week is absolutely no fun. But we will see. I did feel guilty because my children and my husband are doing an activity that I was supposed to join in on, and I just felt so awful. This morning I didn't go with them, and now I feel guilty for not being with them. So I am being productive, and I am recording a video. And our lives are going to get incredibly busy here very, very soon. My life gets busy, weirdly busy soon. I don't know when your guys' school start where you're at, but our school starts here in the middle of August. So we have roughly 3 weeks before school starts, and I have not bought a single school supply. However, and again, this could be my over-preparing brain, I have got probably 2 tubs full of leftover school supplies that I have essentially hoarded after when they have the after-school sales and they mark everything down by like 50%. I bought a bunch of supplies then, so I have 2 tubs full of it. After you've had so many kids and so many years in school and with the same classes and the same teachers, you kind of get a feeling what needs to be bought. So I'm going to go through those supplies before I buy any new supplies, and I'm going to raid my son's stuff from my daughter's stuff from when he was in middle school. Like the calculator he used in middle school, he does not use in high school now. The calculator he used in high school cost $200. But the calculator in middle school, she just needs a scientific calculator because she is taking algebra. So I'm going to raid him for his scientific calculator. He still gets to keep his lovely $200 calculator because he's taking calculus. And then my little one, it's like crayons and markers and glue sticks and stuff. So that's fairly standard. She is still small. But middle school and high school for the other 2, and they basically don't have supply lists for either of those. They're like, bring paper, and the teacher will tell you what they need when you get there, which is incredibly frustrating as a planner. But I kind of know what my son he needed for middle school because they're going to the same middle school. I knew what he needed for middle school, so I'm kind of going on that to get her supplies, and I'm going off what I got him last year. And it was just a crap ton of paper. I want to say he went through, the big Mead 5 subject things, I want to say he went through 3 of them last year, and a bunch of folders. He's rough on folders. They looked kind of rough by Christmas time, so we did trade a lot of those out. So pencils, pens, folders. His office for his high school does require supplies, so like I'll drop off the tissues, antibacterial wipes, and hand sanitizer in his office for that, but that is basically it. So thank you for listening to me, bitch. I feel like you didn't learn a lot about eBay on this one, but you learned a lot about me. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.